where we want to welcome in former federal prosecutor Larry Klayman. He's also the founder of Freedom Watch. Thank you so much for joining us today. Larry, what do you make of those particular comments in terms of, is this just another sky is falling, crying wolf, we need to impeach the president, just a day that ends in Y, or does he have a point here?
No, he has no point. You guys are absolutely right, guys and gals, is that the president has the constitutional authority to pardon. Paul Manafort has not been treated fairly. And the fundamental point here is that Robert Mueller, the special counsel, and his very leftist staff did not have authority to indict him. That's not Mueller's mandate. So the president can simply pardon him on that very basis. It's an illegitimate investigation, prosecution, and let's hope not a conviction. But I think the president would be on firm grounds in doing that. And these Democrats are just rabid over this entire thing.
All right, hey Larry. So what do you make of these questions that the jurors asked the judge? Most significantly, the one about redefining reasonable doubt. Is this an indication that we might see a hung jury?
I think that's generally favorable for the defense. I mean, if I was the defense sitting there, I'd say it's good that they want to know what that is. But we have to take into account that this is a multiple count indictment and prosecution. So they could find something in one area and not find it in another. And that's the potential risk here for Manafort. But yes, this witness, Rich Gates, I mean, he's one of the worst witnesses I've ever seen in any case. I mean, the guy's a liar through and through, and even dishonest to his wife. He cheated on her with 4 women. It's unbelievable.
I also want to talk, Larry, about the Russia probe. President Trump is declassifying congressional memos about the Steele dossier. Now a federal judge has ruled that the president's decision means the FBI has lost the authority to ignore Freedom of Information requests, commonly known as FOIAs, about the FBI's efforts to verify the report's information. Now, the judge had previously ruled that the FBI could refuse the requests by declining to confirm whether any records actually existed.
Okay,
well,
go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's the correct decision this judge ultimately made. These judges tend to be establishment people. I mean, they got their jobs through political patronage. There are very few in the court that have the courage to really force the government to release everything. Judge Royce Lamberth in Washington, D.C. is one of them. I had him many times when I was running Judicial Watch, which I founded. But there are very few that put their foot down totally on this matter. And I hope that that will occur in this case, because there is a lot of issues at stake here.
Well, Larry, it seems that this is all coming as these new documents reveal, troubling to me, I'm sure to you, that DOJ official Bruce Orr was deeply connected to the Steele dossier. We already know his wife, Nellie Orr, worked for Fusion GPS. But now Fox News is reporting that it reviewed a collection of Orr's emails, texts, notes. And in one note, Orr wrote that Christopher Steele was concerned about James Comey's firing because he was afraid they would all be exposed. Now, Steele wasn't only the author of that unverified and what Comey called salacious dossier, he was also a key source cited by the FBI and the DOJ in obtaining the FISA warrant to monitor Carter Page. I mean, Larry, to me, I understand context, and we don't have the full context, but you've got a senior DOJ guy, his wife worked for Fusion GPS, saying he's concerned about Comey's firing because they're all going to be exposed. I was a cop. You were a prosecutor. I never sent a note to anybody in an investigation worried about a boss of mine being fired or resigning or retiring because we were going to, quote, be exposed. This looks really bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they're all part of a conspiracy. It's obvious they're working together. Orr struck Lisa Page, Comey, the general counsel, James Baker, who buried an investigation of mass surveillance I came forward with after Snowden made his revelations. I mean, they're all criminals, essentially, and that's why we are going to indict them with our criminal grand juries, which are going to start in Texas on September 25th. But, there's another story about Bruce Orr that only on Newsmax has it come out. And I wrote a blog earlier this week on Klayman's court. Bruce Orr, back in the early 2000s, towards the end of the Clinton administration, buried an investigation of Hillary Clinton for illegal fundraising that would have resulted in her indictment if, in fact, that had gone forward. So it's not new that Orr is very partisan, that he's been very pro-Clinton, very pro-Democrat. He's been a political hack going way back to that time. And this was someone by the name of Peter Paul, who put on the Hollywood tribute to Bill Clinton, raising $2 million for Hillary's Senate campaign, hard money.
So this goes way back to 1999, so the statute of limitations has run on this, Larry.
And I don't understand. Well, not necessarily on the criminal side of things, given the fact that much still is not known that was covered up. But what really shocks me is that Newsmax is the only one that ran this story, and even Fox has ignored it all this time because it shows the pattern and practice of Bruce Orr and just how corrupt he is. And to remove security clearances is not enough. I'm glad the president did that, but these people need to be prosecuted.
Yeah.
All right, Larry Klayman, we appreciate you being on with us today. Thanks for being here.